Hey friends, Fubar Prime here. So we're back doing another tutorial. This time I kind of wanted to focus on the challenges. The challenges, it's a newer system, but I think there's a lot of things that you can do with it if you're looking to mod the game. So I just kind of want to show off. We're only going to show off a couple of things. This will probably be a really short video. So let's go ahead and get into the Challenges.xml. Okay, so this is the Challenges.xml. This is where we define the challenge screen. This is how we put in all the challenges. So when you're looking at the screen, there are categories that show at the top. There's the basics, the advanced, the biome progression, and then there's Twitch if you're using Twitch. Each category has a group of challenge groups in it. That's the different rows of challenges. Each one gives a reward. It's got a reward text. The reward event, that's just calling a game event. And then let's see. So, and we have some really special ones. We actually had this commented out one. I'm probably going to explain it. Maybe we'll explain it at the end. I do want to talk about this. This is something that we're probably going to add in the future, but it's something as modders you can play with. I'm not going to guarantee it works 100%, but it works pretty good. So let's go back up to the top to where the challenge category. We are going to add a new one. We're going to call it challenge category. So I think I'm going to stay with the theme of the last video. I'm going to go with chickens. We're gonna stick with our murdered chickens. We're going to make them our focus here. So we're going to do, the category is chicken. The title key, we're just going to say chicken stuff. Now we could do the localization. I showed it to you last time. Don't really want to focus too much on it. So we're gonna skip that for this one. If you feel like doing it, it's just going into localization.txt and adding entries in there. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think it's UI game symbol. I think it's tracking chicken, and then that's it. That's all we need. These over here, some of these have different things like the display key that you see here for weather, that tells it to use a different visual. You know how there's less challenges on each row? That's what that's for. The show type, that's if you have some sort of special conditions of why it should show. Twitch, obviously, Twitch has to be turned on. So that's all that is. So we've covered this. We're going to go ahead and save. And then let's go down to the bottom of the challenge groups. So we're going to go right under these Twitch ones. We're going to add, okay, so we're going to add our challenge group. Now, I do want to show that the normal format here is like a challenge group. You say the category, you say the name of it. It's got a title key. It's got a reward text key. That's the little text that shows at the top right of the row. This is reward event. That is what actually happens when you get that row completed. That's the game event that's called. And then hidden by, that's just saying don't show this row until you have finished this group, which is the basics. We're probably not going to worry about that, but you can do it if you want to stay consistent. As you can see with the Twitch groups, they do have passive effects, so you can do the effect groups to basically say whenever this challenge group is completed, you always have this. So this makes it where your viewer point rate is, you add 2 every time the 10 seconds. So I mean that's actually a big deal. And then same with the pin pot. Every time something is added to the pin pot, it puts on an extra half. So let's go ahead and add a new one. And like I said, this one here, we're gonna show this a little later. I do want to talk about it. I'm just not going to talk about it right now. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a challenge group. The category is chicken, as we just said. The name is, we're just going to call it chicken. I mean, maybe I should call it, no, we'll leave it, but I don't want you to get confused on where I'm using names and which one it's pointing to. But I'll try to explain it well enough so you understand. So we're going to just call this chicken challenges. We're not going to do a lot of them. Actually, I think we're only going to do probably 2. Okay, so the reward text, I kind of want to call you the chicken warrior. So I'm going to try to be a little funny with this. So let's go ahead and give us an effect group. I'm going to open and close it. So now, here, let me center this a little bit so it's a little easier. Actually, why don't we space it out too? We'll clean up the spaces after. I just want you to see where I'm at pretty easily. So here's what we're going to do. So when you complete this, I want you to be able to defeat chickens better. You know, you are a warrior against chickens. We could make it where every time you attack, you cluck or something, but that could get a little annoying. So we're going to go ahead and do a passive effect. We will do entity damage. We're going to say just add a %. And let's just do something crazy. You're going to do crazy damage to chickens. Let's also make it where, you know, chickens are nothing to you. You can take their beatings, no big deal. So we're going to give you a damage resist to them too. You know, murder chickens are going to be a thing of the past for you. We'll just do like, you know, we'll add on an extra 0.5%. So right now what this does is this makes it where everything that attacks, you attack anything, you're going to do this extra damage. And anytime you get hit by something, you reduce it. So we do need to put a requirement in here. So we're going to say requirement. The one we're going to do is entity tag compare. You are comparing the target, which is the other person. You're saying they need to have the chicken tag. So for any of this other stuff to work, this requirement has to be met. So that right there makes it where, yes, with this, we are now a chicken warrior if we finish these. So now let's go ahead and get some. Here, I'm going to clean up these lines like I said I was. And then let's go ahead now. I'm going to save. And then we're going to go down to the bottom of the list, and we're going to do 2 challenges. We're going to do 2. Let's do this. Actually, hold on. I'm going to grab. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I say that here. I'm going to search for chicken. We're going to find not that. We're going to find the actual kill chicken. Yeah, this one. We're going to take this challenge. We're going to make a version that is kill murdered chickens. That's going to be one of our challenges. So I'm going to put this right at the bottom, right before all these commented outlines. I'm going to give us some space, like I did a second ago. I'm going to scroll the screen a little. Okay, so first things first. We're going to copy and paste. Now, like I said, modders, you all, this is kind of your bread and butter. You copying and pasting different entries and modifying it. It's going to be a big part of what you're doing. So we're going to do kill murder. If I could spell murder, chickens. I mean, we could probably leave a lot of this the same. It is our chicken group, as you can see over here. Let's see, what else? Short description. You know, we could probably leave a lot of this. I'm not as concerned about this event. I'm just showing you how we can, you know, kind of change one around. I'm going to make a unique one after this. We're not going to make you kill 50 chickens, though. We're gonna do 10. After killing 10, I think that's probably good. We'll make a more unique one right here. So here's what I'm thinking. For this, I want you to get hit by chickens. This is kind of crazy because it's something you don't normally track, you know. But the challenge system has a objective called challenge stat awarded. You can actually see it up here with the home run derby. So what that does, that means you can, inside a buff, or it's really a triggered effect. I'm probably going to add to the game events that you can increment them to, but for right now, it's just in the triggered effects, where you can say add 1 or add however many to this challenge objective. So let's go ahead and walk through this. So we're going to do a new challenge. I'm going to actually type this one out. We're going to call it get chicken attacked. Sure. Get hit by chicken. That's the title. Icon. Woo, gosh. Okay, we're going to do the same one. It's right there. It'll just be another chicken. Group still needs to be chicken. Let's go to the next line. Short, description, key. We should be doing this in localization. We'll say get hit by a chicken. The description key, this is the longer one that you see whenever you click on it. This is the description of getting hit by a murder chicken. I think that's it. I think that's all we need. And then we're going to close it up. So now from here, we need the objective. It's going to be very similar to the objective you see up here, this one, where it's, but we're gonna type it out. We'll talk about it. So objective type challenge. Hold on. Okay, challenge stat awarded, and then the challenge stat that we're gonna do, we'll call it chicken hit. You got hit by a chicken. We're gonna make it where you gotta get hit by 10 of them, 10 chicken hits. Now, this is really important. The stat text key. So this is what shows when you're tracking it. This is the actual objective text. We're going to just say hit by murder chicken. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so if we were to look at it right now, this would show hit by murder chicken : 0 out of 10, which I'm going to show it in game in a minute. I want to do the last part. As I said, this one's going to be a really short one, everybody. This is not going to take me very long to explain all this. I do have other things I want to explain with this. Like I said, down below, we got some other stuff. I'm going to explain that. But let's go ahead and go over to the Items.xml so that we can... So we need to apply this hit. And remember, chickens and other animals, they have a weapon. It is their hand. The chickens by default use the coyote hand. Remember last video we changed it to where they had their own hand. We're not going to do that this time. We're not going to follow up with that one. I want these videos, I want you to be able to just jump around and do whichever ones you want. I do not want you to have to follow each one. So we're not gonna use code for the last one. We're going to keep these kind of independent of each other. So let's head on over to the Items.xml. Okay, so here we are. So I went ahead and searched for melee hand animal coyote. I know that's the one that the chicken uses, the murder chicken. So right now, it does a lot of things. We covered this before. It's got its delay on how often it hits, the range it hits, how much entity damage it does, how much block damage it does. And this right here, this triggered effect, that is where it gives you the different buffs based off weights, like different percent chances of giving you a buff. So we're going to come down a little bit under this. We're going to make another one. We're going to do triggered effect. We're going to call it, let's see, trigger. We're going to do the on self attacked other. So when it hits someone else, the action is going to be award challenge. The challenge stat is going to be our chicken hit. And we're going to say count of 1. And then we're going to close it up. Now, this looks good, right? Hey, we did it. So we're going to award this point every time it hits. Now, the problem is, this is the coyote hand. That means that right now, coyotes would be doing it too. And that's not what we want. We want it to just be murdered chickens. Now, there's not a specific tag to say that you are a murdered chicken. But since standard chickens don't attack, we can just do kind of what we did in the last area in the challenge group. We can say requirement name equals entity tag compare. The target this time is yourself, and you need to have the tag of chicken. So now the coyote hand will try when it hits to award the chicken hit only if the person using it is a chicken. So let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so now we are back in game. Here's what I want to do. We're going to press Y. That's going to show our different challenges. Now, as you can see, chicken stuff is here, like we hoped. And under here, you have the ability to get the chicken warrior. And then each one of these, there's the killed chickens. It's not localizing it, but I don't know if we ever localized that, to be honest. Because I don't think we ever, because they're not in base game. They're only in Twitch integration, so they may not be. We could have changed this text. We didn't. We were kind of just piggybacking on this one. The other one is the get hit by chicken. It's in the chicken challenges. Get hit by a chicken. Hit by murdered chicken, 0 out of 10. And this is the description of getting hit by a murdered chicken. We're going to track it. As you can see, up there, that's what we were expecting. Now, I'm going to try not to die. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I lied to everybody. I want the tough guy shirt. It's always a good thing to use when you are testing things that try to hurt you. Let's go ahead and wear that. See, now I have 20,000 health. So no murder chicken's going to take me out. We're also going to grab us a pistol. And we're probably going to grab some 9mm rounds. Okay, so we are at Rex's place. There he is over there. We're going to just spawn him right here. I need the ammo. Okay, so we're going to do F6. And then we are going to find... Actually, we're going to do 2 tests. I want to verify that what I said is true. We're going to do the animal coyote. We're going to let him hit us. Hit me. See? The number at the top right is not changing. So, no hit by chicken. Okay, well that felt kind of cruel. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on, everybody. It's just a game. It's just a game. Okay, so now animal, chicken, hostile. We're going to do the same thing. And for some reason, the little isn't hurting us. So let's see if we can figure out what we did wrong. Okay, so back to our items.xml. I do see what the problem is. This is pretty silly, but we're gonna, so right here, this triggered effect, on self attacked other. We still have to define that the target of the action is the other person. So what can happen is, when you're attacking another, you can do stuff for yourself with a triggered effect. So it will default to targeting self. We don't actually have to define this. But if you are wanting the effect to happen to the other person, that is needed. So let's go ahead and try it out again. We're going to go and spawn the murder chicken. And see, it's working. He is getting me. Oh no, we're gonna bleed to death. Okay, so we know that works now. So now I want to show you the last thing in this video. I want to go talk about that section of the Challenges.xml that's commented out. Okay, so we're back here in the Challenges.xml. So this right here, this commented out code, what this does, it is a challenge group that I currently just had it in the Twitch category. It'll be in its own at a later time. But this is where I was testing out daily challenges. So each day, it's going to pick random ones. So is random equals true. It is, after each day, it's going to reset. And it has this challenge count here. Here, let me comment it out so you can see. So there are 10 challenges. So it's going to pick 5 of them that have the tags kills, and 5 of them that have the tags craft. Now everything you need to test this out is there. It's working. I would put it in its own category because Twitch only shows if you have Twitch activated. But if you go down to the bottom of the file, I have some very basic examples of what they are. Man, okay, there's a lot of stuff in here now. Okay, here they are. As you can see, I have some examples. Don't worry about this one. That one can probably just go away. Okay, so where it says weekly, it has different, okay, so the group was actually called, Is it called weekly up there? Okay, let me. Oh man, we're gonna jump around for a second. Sorry, we're gonna be scrolling. I know it's jarring to see the scrolling. I normally like to just cut to it, but man, I really should. It's actually called daily. So there will be some renaming here. Let's just do this. Let's just call it weekly, and then that will fix it. You'll have to make the change on your own if you plan on messing with this. But let's go back to the bottom. So it's looking for a group weekly. It's got the tags of kills, and then it is just a plain challenge, just like the other ones. You know, it has you do kill these different ones in the snow biome. Has you kill these in the desert, so forth. There are 5 different ones. Obviously, if you're going to make it random, it should be more than that. But these are just the examples I was testing with. My hope is with this is that in the future, we could possibly have, when you go to a trader, it unlocks this row of weekly challenges for like Trader Gen. So it gives you something to do to keep going back to Gen. I don't know if it's ever going to make it in. That was my intentions when I put this together, but I would love to see some modders use it for something cool. Like I said, it's untested. You know, I mean, it's partially tested. It's not 100%, so there could be issues. If there is, just let me know in the comments. I can try to fix them. And I think that pretty much does it for us, everybody. So I hope this makes challenges a little bit easier to understand. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.